I have been working on my YouTube channel for more than 6 years now, have made hundreds of videos during that time, and I figured now is a good moment to look back a little bit, see how far I've come, and answer the question that many of you have asked me, which is making YouTube videos actually worth it? Let's dive right in. Now, when asking this question, is making YouTube videos worth it, many of you will think of it from a purely monetary perspective. And understandably so. After all, YouTube has become a source of extra income for many people out there, some of which even managed to make it their full-time job or even become rich through it. So of course I'm gonna give you my thoughts on making money on YouTube, and if it's been worth it for me, I'm gonna show you exactly how much I've earned over the course of the 6 years that I've been on YouTube. But first I want to dive a little bit into a different part of that question, is making YouTube videos worth it? Because believe it or not, for me it has never been about the money in the first place, and I think that is true for pretty much every successful YouTuber out there. The truth of the matter is, making YouTube videos is really hard. It's really exhausting, it takes a lot of stamina and dedication, and at the beginning you won't see many results. So that is the first thing that you need to be aware of. YouTube is a huge time commitment. Now of course that depends a little bit on the type of content that you're planning to make, but I can already tell you that it's gonna take more time than you expect. For me, just making a 10-minute video every single week takes about 10 hours of work. So that includes keyword research, researching the actual topic, setting up my camera and lighting, filming the actual video, downloading everything onto my laptop, editing, uploading everything onto YouTube, making the thumbnail, writing the description, etc, etc. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of dedication, and you need to be consistent in order to build a following. So there's really no weeks off. But then surely once you've uploaded the video, you're gonna get lots of views and positive feedback, right? No. This is the second component to consider when asking if YouTube is actually worth it. Nobody cares about your content. And I know that is hard to hear, because I'm sure you have a brilliant idea for a new channel, something that's never been done before, and you think just easily people are gonna find you, they're gonna fall in love with what you're making, and you're gonna be up to 1 million subscribers in no time. Well, let me tell you, I've been there, and I can guarantee you this is not how it works. There is just endless amount of content out there, most of which is produced much better than yours is, at least when you're first starting out, so there's really no reason why people should watch your videos over others. For me personally, it took about 3 years and more than 150 videos that I produced every single weekend and that nobody watched. Now again, of course I made a lot of mistakes at the beginning, of course I would do things differently if I started over now, and maybe you're just a natural talent. Maybe you're gonna avoid all the pitfalls that I didn't avoid, and you're gonna grow much faster than I did, but chances are you won't. Chances are you're gonna make the same beginner's mistakes as everyone else out there, and you're gonna have to learn how to avoid those mistakes just like everyone else does. So then after paying my dues the first 3 years, now it's smooth sailing, right? And not so much. I still get negative comments, I still post videos that are not doing particularly well, so really every single video, every new week, it's a new battle for me. But at least I reached a point where I'm finally making some money with YouTube. My channel got monetized about 3 months back, so let's have a look at the numbers and see if that part of YouTube is actually worth it. Well, here you can see exactly how much money I've made since my channel got monetized roughly 3 months back. And this is in Swedish crowns, so here you can see how much that is in dollars. Now, when taking a couple of things into consideration, like for example the amount of views that I got during that same time period, and also the fact that I just merely crossed 4,000 subscribers on my channel, this amount is actually not that bad. To be perfectly honest, I expected worse, but it seems like I made a couple of videos in the past that get a pretty high RPM, and those are also the videos that get most of the views on my channel. So lucky me. But then of course you do also have to take into account the years and years that I produced videos without getting paid for them at all. So if we want to be really brutal, we can make a little calculation here. I've been on YouTube for 6 years. During those 6 years I made 269 YouTube videos. Let's say all of them took me 10 hours each to produce, and that gives you the full time that I've spent on YouTube so far. If you then go ahead and you divide the amount that I've earned so far by the hours that it took me to get here, you get an hourly wage of... oh boy. it looks like I've wasted 6 years of my life here. Now, all jokes aside, I hope of course that in the future I will be able to bring that number up a little bit, because I'm gonna be able to make videos that get more views with the same amount of work that I need to put into them. So I'm gonna be able to earn a bit more on YouTube. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't expect to ever get rich from YouTube, and neither should you, because the odds are just all against you. Alright, so let's recap what we've got so far in terms of answering the question, is making YouTube videos worth it? Number 1, it takes a lot of time and dedication. Number 2, nobody's gonna watch your content. And number 3, you're most likely not gonna make a lot of money with it. So why on earth would anyone in their right mind, including myself, ever get into this and then stick with it? The answer is very simple, and it's point number 4, making YouTube videos is a lot of fun. Yes, it's time consuming, yes, it's frustrating sometimes, and yes, I don't get paid a lot for it, but boy do I have fun making those videos. That's really the only reason why I got into it in the first place, and that's the only reason why I have stuck with it for 6 years and still counting. I simply enjoy making those videos. I like sitting down in front of the camera. I like thinking about what to talk about next. I like really digging into certain topics and trying to figure out a really good way to present them to you as an audience. So all of that is just a lot of fun for me, and I do see myself getting better over time, which maybe is the best motivation of all. Just for the fun of it, let's have a quick look at my first video ever and compare it to how I make videos these days. I was just reading this very interesting book. It is called Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, and it basically covers every single aspect about a field that is called behavioral economics. Now this is honestly hard to watch for me, because it's hard for myself to imagine that I was ever this bad. But it is part of my journey, it's part of how I got to where I am today, and it's awesome to see how much I've improved in terms of talking, in terms of body language, in terms of facial expressions and how I make eye contact with the camera, in terms of vocal tonality, in terms of lighting, in terms of editing. Just every single thing about my videos these days is so much better than it used to be 6 years ago. And that alone keeps me motivated to keep going, because if I stopped now, I would never be able to find out how much further I can improve, how much further I can take this whole project. So as you might have gathered from this video, there is no definite answer to whether or not making YouTube videos is worth it. I can say for myself it has been worth it, and I wouldn't change a thing, even though I want to improve further and I want to grow my channel further. But if I can give you one piece of advice, don't make it about growing. Don't make it about the money you earn. Don't make it about the amount of views or subscribers that you can collect. Instead, make it about the journey itself. Make it about your own personal development and find that intrinsic motivation that keeps you going. Because in the end, if you make it about anything else than that, if you make it about external validation, you're simply not gonna have the stamina to keep pushing when times are tough and when you're not getting that external validation. I do hope that this video was beneficial for you, and if it was, make sure to subscribe down below so you get more videos from my channel in the future. I wish you all the best on your own personal YouTube journey, and if you have your own channel, make sure to comment it down below so I and other people who watch this video can check it out and maybe possibly subscribe and help you grow your channel. Thanks for watching, and talk to you next time.